I made £27,000 in my marketing agency in just 10 days selling AI to local businesses, which equates into about $34,000, $35,000 give or take. And I'm making this video for two reasons. Number one, to show you the actual proof that I did this. That's why let me refresh the page to show you that these are actually the real numbers. But number two, actually show you exactly how I did this so that you can go ahead and pretty much replicate the exact same steps and implement that for your own self as well. So as you can see, in a 10-day period, £27,000. These are actual real numbers from the Stripe dashboard right here. Now in this video, I'll walk you through several things. Number one, I'll show you the niche that we are working in. Number two, I'm going to show you what niche you can actually pick out yourself as well. Number three, I'll show you what offer we are selling and what offer you can sell. Number four, I'm going to show you the mechanisms that you can use to fulfill on that offer. Number five, I'm going to walk you through the absolute best and the most predictable way of booking tons of calls for your marketing company that I'm currently using myself as well. And number six, I'll pretty much walk you through the sales funnel. And then lastly, number seven, I'll walk you through the way how you should structure your sales calls to increase your closing rate and close a bunch of these clients essentially, okay? So that being said, let's dive right into it. Number one, the niche. So within my marketing company, we work specifically with law firms. And the reason for this is because they are relatively high ticket businesses, meaning that they charge a lot of money to their clients, meaning that one client that we might get them could literally be worth them $15,000 to $20,000 on just that first initial transaction, which already by itself covers off our entire service fee if we help them just get one or a couple of clients. So what you want to do is you want to work within a local business niche as well, where they actually charge a high ticket service in a sense, right? Where all that you would need to do is get them between 1 to maybe 5 clients, give or take, and that literally pays off your entire service fee. And right here you can see a couple of examples such as law firms, home remodeling, HVAC, roofing, landscaping, etc., etc. And preferably they also have a relatively good lifetime customer value as well, okay? So that's the niche. Number two, what is the offer that you're actually gonna be selling? Well, here is the offer that you'll go about actually selling to these local businesses. Because if you think about it in general, what do these local businesses want? They want more clients. But the issue is that all of them have been burnt in the past by so many marketing companies that they lack trust. And the reason for this is because all these previous marketing companies they have worked with, they have sent them leads, but a bunch of unqualified leads that either don't have the money or are not looking for their services, or maybe are too far away from their local business geographical area, or whatever else it might be. So this is exactly where you come in, because what you're going to help them with is you're going to help them not just to get leads, you'll actually help them book in qualified people on their calendar, where the only thing they will need to do themselves is literally take those appointments with already pre-qualified people and get them to sign up for their service. Here's the 3-step process you use. Number one, you help them with lead generation. There is a bunch of different ways that we can go about doing that. The best way how I've found to do it is literally by using ads as well. When it comes down to the channel you should use, there's several options. Obviously there's Facebook ads, Google ads, things like that. Now, which channel is going to perform the best for your type of local business you might be working with is going to depend on what type of a local business that is. That's why if there's somebody who tells you that Facebook ads is better for pretty much all local businesses, that is just flat out a lie, because maybe for some of them, Google ads is going to perform better. That's why within our company, as we work with law firms, we use both. We've seen Facebook and Google working really well, so you just want to find out which works the best for you. If you are going to go with Facebook ads, then I highly advise initially to start off running their ads using simple graphics that you can literally create on Canva. Here is an example that we've seen working really, really well for our clients, which is kind of like this native social media style of a post / like Twitter style format in a sense. All you do is literally include the call out of their audience, then the offer, and then obviously the call to action for them to either fill out a form, book a call, or whatever that might be. Another option is you can use a software called Captions AI, which is this software right here. It's basically a software that allows you to create UGC AI videos. And here is how the dashboard actually looks like right here. And all that you do is you just go into AI creators, then create a actual script, which you can actually create ChatGPT, by the way. And then you just literally copy paste it right here, then click on edit style, and then you can pretty much choose a bunch of different UGC creators to go ahead and create this video with. There is a lot of different options. and you can literally use these videos for your client to run as ads. Now, next up, you're gonna help them with the appointment setting and a sales funnel. So this is exactly where the AI is gonna come into play, because you will use a AI dialer, the platform called synthflow.ai. Through this platform, you can go ahead and actually create an AI dialer who's gonna call every single lead that you generate for that client. I'm not gonna go in this video explaining exactly how to go about setting this up, because it's worth a completely different video, like a separate video itself. But this is where AI actually comes into play. You use this AI dialer to call those leads, okay? And then you also go ahead and help the client build out their landing pages, email and SMS automations as well, so that they receive, these leads receive emails and SMS automations as well, besides just the AI calling them. And then lastly, you will also help them with the social media content. Reason being is because a lot of local businesses, they like the idea of pretty much eventually becoming the go-to local business in their geographical area. For example, like whatever that business might be, such as HVAC or roofing or landscaping, whatever, they love the idea of being the go-to HVAC company, for example, in their county or their city and things like that. And the way how you can do that, where a lot of people know about that, local business, is through brand exposure. So you can do that through ads or social media or whatever it might be. But besides just relying on ads, you can also use social media content and literally tap into these viral algorithms that Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube have right now by literally producing high quality content that is structured with virality. And you can help the client literally go viral organically and get a bunch of leads complete for free as well, and you can sign several clients from that. And you can pretty much use ChatGPT for coming up with the content ideas and scripts. But here's a couple of structured type of videos that I've seen working really well. You can use reaction videos where the client actually reacts to the video. Also educational style of content. Then Q&As, they answer questions. And then lastly, results, right? So they show client results, testimonials, whatever that might be, okay? And you can even go as far as like literally using AI into this, where you use 11 Labs to basically just clone the client's voice and have a bunch of content being made like this as well. Or alternatively, you can take it another step further, where you actually use captions AI once again, but you basically create your own client's UGC AI. So you go into the platform, you click on AI Twins, and then basically you upload a video of the client with the instructions that the software has provided, and then you just simply let it populate, and then it pretty much creates an AI UGC with your client, and you can create a bunch of organic content like that. By the way, these guys, Captions AI, they're not sponsored by me. We've just been using it for my own agency, for my own clients. I've been seeing them working really well, so that's why I highly recommend the software. But those are a couple of options right there. Now, next up, what should be the actual details of your program? So as far as length goes, I would advise roughly about 90 days to be the length of your program, because if you're gonna help them with lead generation and things like that, I've seen 90 days to be the best time range when it comes down to having enough time for yourself and for the client to actually make sure that this is profitable and successful for them. As far as pricing goes, I would advise nothing less than 10K for the entire 90 days. Reason being is because after your acquisition cost and your fulfillment cost and things like that, if you charge less than 10 grand, then it's going to be relatively difficult for you to be profitable. And from there on out, the other thing that you should do is you should actually create a highly irresistible offer that you can use within your ads. Here's a couple of examples. As you can see, landscapers, 30 appointments in 30 days guaranteed or you don't pay. Roofers, 100 qualified leads per month guaranteed or don't pay, etc., etc. If you cannot deliver on these promises, don't worry about that, because what you all need to do is you just have to market your guarantee, but when you're on a sales call, you can sell them a different guarantee if they do not qualify for this guarantee. So maybe, for example, in order for you to guarantee these landscapers 30 appointments a month, they will need to have an ad spend budget of, let's say, $1,000 a day. So when you're on a sales call, you tell them that, hey, we can get you this offer, as long as you have a ad spend budget of $1,000 a day. And if they don't have that, then you downsell them on a different offer that's more manageable for you, which could be maybe like 50 appointments over a period of 90 days, as an example, right? But the reason why you want to have a really crazy looking offer on your marketing itself is because a lot of these local businesses, they have been exposed to all sorts of different offers by lots of other marketing agencies and things like that to a point where they have become numb, right? So the way how to break that is through having a very highly irresistible offer. So they see this offer and they're like, yeah, well, let me schedule a call with them. That is a crazy good looking offer in a sense, right? So that's what you want to do. Market this offer as an example, right? But then when you're on a sales call, then downsell them to a different offer if they do not qualify for this offer. But that downsell offer still needs to be something that is relatively obviously good for them, that they would actually want. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now from there on out, the question is, what is the way how you're gonna book calls for your agency? I've tried a bunch of different methods for booking calls for my agencies. I've tried out cold emails, cold DMs on Instagram. I've tried out reaching out to businesses on Twitter. I've built literally an entire appointment setting team of VAs that had several accounts, like literally 5 accounts per VA on Instagram, sending about 100 messages a day from each account, where we were reaching thousands of people every single day. But what I've seen working time and time again, the absolute best way and the most predictable way is literally through using Facebook ads to book calls for your agency. Don't worry, you don't need to have crazy amounts of money to actually run ads for your agency. You can literally start off with just $30 a day. That's how I got started. I was just spending about $30 a day initially, and now we have scaled up to about, give or take, a little over $5,000 a month. But here's the way how you want to go about doing it. So you use Facebook ads, and then you want to start off with using static graphics with the actual offer itself. So you want to do direct response marketing. Now, if you think about any marketing in general, every market out of 100%, 97% of people are typically going to be in a situation where they're actively not looking for a solution to their issues. But the other 3% are going to be actively looking for a solution. So our goal right here is to basically capture those 3%, so that this way you can be profitable much quicker and then later on scale further, right? That's why you want to do direct response marketing. And the best way of doing that is to start out by literally using graphic ads. And here's a couple examples of the styles that you can use. It's a very simple format. You literally just have the call out of your market right here, then explain what is the actual offer, and then say it's obviously guaranteed or they don't pay. And here's a couple of examples that you can basically go ahead and use. And these are very, very simple graphics you can literally just steal right away right now. And for context, this one right here in the middle is for my agency, currently the absolute best performer. This ad by itself alone has booked in for me hundreds of sales calls up until now and generated a couple $100,000 in revenue. And as you can see, it is literally a black background graphic with one of the native fonts that you can access on the Instagram story. Because I literally went on the IG story, I created a story with this text, took a screenshot of it, and literally was running as an ad, and that has been the absolute best performer for me up until now. Okay, so these are a couple of ads you can go ahead and pretty much take right here. But then what you want to do is you want to run these ads as a lead form. So they fill out the form, and then after that you want to send them to a landing page. And here is an example of the landing page you can pretty much go ahead and use. As you can see right here, you have basically your logo at the top, you have the call out to the market, then you have the offer, and then it says, guaranteed or you don't pay. And then in the very middle right here, you have either a VSL or a DSL. If you don't know what a DSL is, it's basically a VSL, but it is constructed into a deck format where you translate everything from the VSL into a deck instead. Okay, and the reason for this is because for some people in some markets, it is easier to actually go through a slideshow deck and read everything on their own as opposed to listen to a video instead. Okay, and I think the person who initially came out with this idea, if I'm not mistaken, is Jeremy Haynes, but I may be wrong. If anybody knows, then drop that down in the comments below. But either a VSL or DSL is going to work. You just have it right here, and then below that obviously have a calendar for them to book in a call. Now, once they have booked in a meeting, you want to send them to a thank you page. And here's an example of a thank you page. In the thank you page, you want to have a video that explains how you go about helping your clients get results. You also want to explain some client results, testimonials, and case studies, and maybe drop some other additional content right here as well. Reason for this is because what I've seen over the years is that if you're going to take a sales call with somebody who has no idea what the hell you are even doing in the first place and how you help your clients get results, it's going to be, most of the time, it's going to be a complete waste of your time because it's going to be a very difficult sale. That's why you want to go ahead and nurture them prior to the sales call, and you want to record a video, explain right here, maybe on like a lucid chart or something like that, how you go about helping your clients get results. Then below it, include the story of your agency, okay? And then right here in the second step, show them obviously how they can ensure that they can click on yes and confirm that they will show up to the appointment. And then lastly, right here below, you want to drop as much social proof as you physically can. Drop case study videos, client testimonials, screenshots of the client wins, things like that. And from here now, what I would also advise you to do is I would advise you to go ahead and hire an appointment setter who is going to call every single lead that opts in but doesn't book a call, and also everybody who actually books in a call in order to then reconfirm. Now, the reason why I don't really recommend using the AI dialer for your own self to call these leads is because at least for me as an agency that I'm running, I've seen that we need to go through some extremely in-depth filtering on the triaging calls before we actually book in these law firms on our sales calendars. And what I've seen is that with the AI, like a lot of times it's going to be very unpredictable to do such in-depth filtering to know who to disqualify and who not to disqualify. But for your clients, we need to do some very simple qualification points. Then AI is basically like the absolute best way to go right there. But for your agency, if you obviously qualify it based on the revenue and a bunch of other things, then it could be relatively difficult to use AI for that. That's why I would advise to use an actual human appointment setter instead. And you can hire somebody off of Argentina for literally like $400 a month plus performance fees to actually do this for you. But the goal of the appointment setter is going to be to basically any leads that come in from the ads but do not book in a call yet, the appointment setter goes ahead and actually calls them to book in the appointment. But then also anybody who books in the call themselves from this first page right here, the appointment setter pretty much calls them later to reconfirm the appointment to ensure that they will show up to the sales call with you, but then as well also force the consumption of that thank you page. Okay, so that's the idea behind the appointment setter, which is really gonna help you get way more clients signed, way more show up calls to your sales calls and things like that. And then the other thing you want to do from here on out, really, this is a little bit more advanced, but once they book in a call, you want to set up some retargeting ads with some value content there as well. So the next time they go on Facebook or Instagram, before they hop on a sales call with you, they see additional content from you, which even further forces the consumption of the content, okay? So go ahead and record anywhere between 4 to 8 videos of your own self talking about a specific topic, how you help your clients get results, have a couple of videos that are specifically for case studies, testimonials, things like that, and then run those as retargeting ads for anybody who booked in a call. So that's how you can go about booking calls and ensuring the show-ups and things like that. And the last thing I want to walk you through is the best way to actually go about conducting your sales calls. Now, sales is a very in-depth topic. At some point, I will record another video specifically about sales. But here's a bird's eye overview how you can go about actually conducting your sales calls. Always initially break the ice, ask them how they're doing, how is business treating them and things like that. After that, obviously set the agenda and then dive into the discovery phase. Here's a couple of things you want to figure out from the discovery phase. Number one, why did they get on a call, and a bunch of other things. But you just want to find out some pain points, why they are there, what are the issues they have within their business, how is that affecting their business, where do they want to get this to, what they have tried up until now to solve this issue. Dig as deep as you can. Then obviously figure out their goals. And then one thing you want to do is you want to edify. What I mean by edify is when you ask them what's their goal, and let's say they tell you that, hey, I want to, within 3 months, I want to get to a point where our HVAC business makes, let's say, like 200 grand a month, as an example, right? What you want to do from there on out is you want to actually praise them and say that, hey, John, that's an absolutely amazing goal. I love that. Saying that, hey, you are thinking the right way. Good job on coming to this conclusion that this is the goal that you want. And the reason for why you want to edify is because it builds rapport. A lot of these CEOs, they usually don't get praised as much, right? But if you actually do it for them, right, where you actually tell them that, hey, good job on thinking like this, then it's actually going to build a little bit of rapport, okay? And then also when they tell their goals, you want to drop a case study, say that, hey, we achieved something similar for one of our clients in the past as well. From there on out, once you have a good understanding where they're at, you want to recap everything you guys have been talking about. And from there on out, you want to basically pitch using this framework of 3 pillars. Now, this is another completely separate video I should make about 3 pillars, but basically, it's kind of like you walking them through 3 things that they need in their business in order to actually get to that goal they want to get to. And when you explain every single one of these 3 things, you also relate to it, to their pain points and to their goals, okay? So like I said, I should record a completely separate video just for this alone. So let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do that. But as you can see right here, you want to tie every pillar to the bottlenecks and their goals itself. After that, walk them through 3 things to look out for in an ideal marketing agency. Reason being is because with all of these, local businesses and any business in general, when they get in a sales call with a salesperson, obviously the salesperson is going to say, we are the best of the best. You should hire us. We're the best company that can help you achieve this, X, Y, Z. They have heard this so many times. But if you take the opposite approach, where you say that, hey, John, I don't really care who you work with. All that I can tell you is whoever you do decide to work with, look out for these 3 things, because this is all you need to know in order to make the right decision who would be the ideal partner for you. And then you just simply walk them through 3 things they should vet for a good marketing company. And then obviously you obviously say that in a way that you are the best in a sense, you know what I mean? But what this does, it basically educates them on what's the things they should be looking out for in an ideal marketing company, because nobody else does this. And this also builds massive levels of rapport. Once you've done that, obviously recap all the deliverables that you can deliver to them, and then do a temperature check. See where they stand out from a scale of 1 to 10, how confident they are that this is going to work for them. If they say anything below like an 8, then you want to dig deeper and see what's the reason and what can you tell them or show them in order to actually get it to closer to a 9 or a 10. So this way you don't have any objections when you actually ask for the close. And then you want to also go ahead and use a ROI calculator, okay? So if I show you an example that we have, here's an example. You basically want to go ahead and show them with numbers what could be the projected return they can achieve from this, given what is their average client value, and also given what is their average closing rate, and then given what you believe you can actually help them deliver, right? So for example, if they say that their average client is worth $10,000 as an example, right? And their closing is 50% from qualified people, and let's say you can deliver them 50 appointments over a period of 90 days, that means that they get about 25 clients over a period of 3 months. And if their average client is worth 10K, then it's about $250,000 in projected added revenue. And once you show it to them like this, given their numbers that they have told you themselves, it really puts everything into perspective, and it makes the sale to be much, much easier. And obviously from there on out, you want to also tell them that, hey, it's not going to come easy. It will require work from both ends, which basically means that you are being honest with them that, hey, you're not going to snap your fingers like that and get, all these results. You basically set the right expectations that, hey, it's going to require hard work, which normally these agencies also don't do on sales calls. And this also builds good amount of rapport. And then you want to anchor the price. And then you want to actually drop the price itself, and then handle any objections they throw your way. And then from there on out, either you close them or ask for a refundable deposit that you can collect today, and then let's say reconnect with them in a month or 2 or a couple of days from now when they're actually ready to make the decision. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the way how we did it for my own company to generate these results, and what are the steps that you can implement. If you have any questions, then drop them down below.